Future Talk.
This is Future Talk
with Omnial Saleh and Hani Balkis.
Welcome back to Future Talk right here on Pulse 95. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday. Hope you guys are enjoying your week. We are still at the beginning, at the start of a long marathon. Now, when it comes to Monday, sometimes, I'd be like, I'm not kind of accumulating to going back to work, especially after that long weekend. Mm-hmm. But, we need to get back on the ball. We need to get back on track. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, there's a new initiative done by 1 Million Arab Coders Initiative, and it does invite graduates to participate in a $1 million challenge.
Yes, indeed. So if you are a lover for coding, this may just be yet another incentive to get you working on that passion of yours. Coming up on today's show, we're also going to be talking about the European Union's proposal that may just force Apple to switch the iPhone to USB-C after all. This is news that has actually been kind of in the pipeline for quite some time. Some people are with it, some people are against it, and we're going to be giving you all those details in just a few moments.
Yes, and for our apps all around the world, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Twitter now. Believe it or not, Twitter hasn't been making headlines for quite a while now. We haven't been talking about them, but today, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about how Twitter has made contrast changes as users have reported eye strain and even migraines when using Twitter. But ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people are not happy with the new update, and me being one of them. And I'm really excited to talk about this one.
Yes, indeed. In the world of weird tech, I'm excited to talk about a story that we almost talked about yesterday, but it just didn't make. There wasn't enough time for it.
Yeah.
The robotic chameleon that can actually kind of make the most out of what normal animal chameleons can do: camouflage and crawling. They are using both of those skills to help us with our everyday tasks. How are they making that a reality? We're going to be telling you more about it in just a few moments.
Yes, and Twitter has paused its verification program once again after, they gave a couple of fake accounts a blue check, which is a verified badge. And we know that is a no-go when it does come to Twitter, because we know that Twitter users, for some reason, if there's a verified badge next to the name, then all of a sudden what they say is true.
Yes, indeed. Lots and lots is in store right here on today's show. So make sure you keep Pulse 95 locked, and we'll be right back.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
We have great news for all those who have been following up with the 1 Million Arab Coders Initiative. This is an initiative that has been going on for quite some time now, and we've got an update because the Dubai Future Foundation, they have announced the opening of submissions for the 1 Million Arab Coders Challenge. This is going to basically be an opportunity for every graduate from all around the world. You don't have to be based right here in the UAE to submit your innovative project for a chance to win prizes worth more than $1 million.
Yes, now Dubai Foundation, they did announce the opening of submissions. And, $1 million is a great chance, to expand whatever program or whatever, project you have in mind. And, if you want to participate, coders can submit their projects, websites, or even applications based on their skills that they have acquired during their participation, which is, the largest initiative of its kind in the world, via the website arabcoders.ae. And they do have until the 30th of October 2021. Now, the submitted projects must be complete and ready for use. It can't be, something in
project.
the works.
Yeah.
It needs to be ready to, like they say it on when it comes to cars, start and go. Start and run. Ready to go, push to start, and that's what you need to do and to submit it. And then you'll be in the pool of a lot of coders to be at a chance to win $1 million.
Yes, indeed. Now, if you're wondering who will be judging which will be the winner project, well, you've got a jury that has actually many experts in coding, technology, and even entrepreneurship from the UAE and all around the world. They're going to basically be selecting the 20 best projects that would qualify for the finals, and those kind of hand-picked competitors will be competing for the grand prize of the $1 million.
Yes, now again, 5 runner-ups will receive around $50,000 each. In addition, the 4 best tutors will win $25,000 each. Now, winners of the 1 Million Arab Coders Challenge will be announced during Expo 2020 Dubai. Now, again, it's very smart and very good. I'll tell you why, because we do know the Expo 2020 Dubai has been, something a lot of people have been looking forward to. And,
a lot of people are waiting for it.
Exactly. A lot of people are looking forward to it. It is something that is going to change a lot of things. And when we're talking about technology, Expo 2020, they're focusing a lot on technology because we do know that technology is the future. So for these coders to be announced during Expo 2020 in Dubai, number one is going to bring in a lot of attention to these coders that maybe, let's say, a company at Expo 2020 Dubai sees these coders and is like, hey, I like you. Why don't you come work for me? Example, what about someone from Apple sees someone and sees their project and say, hey, would you like to be a coder for Apple?
True. And that's exactly what is the main aim behind the 1 Million Arab Coder Initiative. They're basically picking Arab coders from over 80 countries, and this challenge will basically help them kind of showcase their skills when it comes to coding, which is, as we've always heard from different tech giants, it is the language of the future. It's going to give them a global platform, encourage them to turn all their ideas, the ones that they constantly think about but never have enough momentum to bring them to life. They'll be able to bring them to life and compete for that $1 million big prize, grand prize.
Yeah, I mean, kind of a little of a backstory about the 1 Million Arab Coders Initiative. It was actually launched back in October of 2017 as part of the Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Global Initiative. Now, the 1 Million Arab Coders did announce its conclusion in April of 2021, and the program actually did provide a big opportunity for young Arab talents to learn a wide variety of coding skills and even apply them in websites and mobile application development, blockchain, AI, and data and cloud computing. Now, Omnia, believe it or not, mobile application development is on the rise. And, I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Your phone is the next, it's already a necessity, but your phone is the next, supercomputer.
True. And a lot of people have actually been making different apps for phones, honestly, just for fun, especially during summer break. Anyone who's interested in coding, this is your chance to get some money out of it. Let me know if you know any coding language or programming language, and if you've been actually practicing it this summer break. Our text lines are open for 215 Dur Salat or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio. Join the conversation with us. Coming up on the show, we're going to be talking all about the European Union's proposal that may just force Apple to switch the iPhone to the USB-C. After all, and that's definitely news that some people are excited about and others are disappointed by.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have news that isn't the best for Apple, believe it or not. Now, whenever we talk about Apple in general, it is great news for them, bad news for us. All right? New iPhones, that's great. Horrible for my bank account. Wireless charging, great. Horrible for my bank account. Number two. But today, ladies and gentlemen, the European Union has a proposal that actually may force Apple to switch the iPhone to the USB-C after all. And for those who don't know what USB-C is, you're probably saying, honey, what is the USB-C? We're going to get to that right now. Right now, all iPhones or Apple products use a Lightning port. Yeah. Right? It is, embedded for Apple products only, and I do believe some products do impose the Lightning port as well. But USB-C, it's very big when it does come to different gadgets and Android devices as well. But the European Union wants to force Apple to switch the iPhone to USB-C, and that is bad news for Apple. Why? Because they can't profit over their Lightning cables.
Absolutely. And if I'm not mistaken, even MacBooks depend on the USB-C, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. So it's been definitely a very tough adjustment with the MacBook Pros to convert to USB-Cs, because a lot of the USB ports or even the USB, just the normal USB that you'd plug into your computer, you're unable to do so if you don't have that little bit of a converter gadget alongside with you. But now it kind of feels like a wave of deja vu, because the first time this story broke last year, the European Union lawmakers actually voted with basically near unanimity that they're going to be in favor of the common charging port standard. But that proposal actually failed to convert into a sufficient law, an ingrained law that would be applicable everywhere. It's been nearly a decade that they've been trying to switch over to that USB-C port, but there has not been any official written confirmation that the universal port of that the EU is trying to decide on, that it's going to be in fact USB-C. They're considering nearly every single laptop and mobile phone besides the iPhone that uses it, but there shouldn't be too controversial of a conclusion to jump to as of right now. Yeah, it's definitely coming, I feel like.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying, Apple will go portless before they put a USB-C on an iPhone. A lot of people speculate that Apple will not bow down to the man, right? They'll do what they want because Apple can do what they want. And, it is very true. And that is why I believe that's where they came out with the MagSafe chargers.
Yeah.
Right? They were kind of preparing us for us to burn more money. They're
preparing to prevent a disaster.
Yeah, they're like, hey, why don't use a MagSafe charger on your iPhone? It's amazing, right? Well, guess what? Next year we're removing the lightning cables. There's no ports on an iPhone.
It's interesting that you even mentioned this because if you go without Apple, if you go to any smartphone provider, wherever you're going to go to like fix a screen or buy phones or chargers, they always actually recommend either the MagSafe charger or any of similar companies that create MagSafe chargers.
You know what, Omnia?
What?
I'm going to buy a MagSafe charger right now. Amazon.ae. MagSafe.
Why?
Just because
because you want to try it out.
I want to try it out. I see a lot of, I think you need a case for it.
Do you?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, because I see only the fancy people, they have the circle.
The fancy people.
Circle behind their phone. Right? You see
I thought that was the charging port, like the Apple Watch. Isn't it?
No, but like some people, they have like a circle behind their case.
A circle.
But
I like this.
To clip it, because, they'll be like hanging out with me and I see them, with the circle. I'm like, what is that? Like, for fancy people.
For fancy people.
Right? And, I'm kind of feeling a little bit, oh, wait, look, there's a discount. Right? It's 169 dirhams originally.
Okay.
It's expensive. But
if you think about it, I mean...
It's now 75 dirhams.
Oh, so they're actually... Is this from the Apple...
Cart.
Is it from Amazon or the
Apple
Apple
Store? It says visit the Apple Store. I don't know what that means. But
that's really good competition because a regular charger from Apple would typically cost you not the USB-C, but like the lightning port for the iPhone 12. It would cost you about 75, 79 dirhams.
The comments are bad.
Oh.
The record they're saying is fake.
Oh.
Yeah, all right.
I think it's safer for you to buy it off of Apple originally.
Expensive.
So the discount is only on Amazon.
Yeah, well, anyways, I do believe that, the MagSafe, a lot of people did recommend it. And a lot of people, they use it heavily.
Yeah.
But, the only problem I have with a MagSafe charger is if I have a portable charger, right? And I'm on the go.
Yeah.
I feel like the MagSafe is a little bit, clingy. It's a little bit big and big.
It's too much of a hassle for you to constantly have
and
to
I
adjust
can't put it in my pocket because it's big.
True. Let us know what are your thoughts about this story, and would you support the EU with their decision to kind of force Apple to switch the iPhone to USB-C after all? Our text lines are open, 4215, do it Salat, or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio. Coming up, we're talking all about Twitter making some changes that may just help protect our eyes. A lot of people have been complaining that the long hours they spend on Twitter has been causing migraines and eye strains. Do you relate to that or not? Let us know.
Or not.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
Pulse 95.
This is a discussion that I think we need to have. I think we should have, and I feel like we should. What's wrong?
Oh.
Every time I mention discussion, Hani is like, okay, I'm done.
No. Every time we mention the Twitters.
No, but this is a discussion that I honestly want your thoughts about. I feel like I felt this during the lockdown more than I feel it nowadays, but I want to hear your thoughts about it nonetheless. Did you get migraines, and did your eyes physically kind of hurt, feel too dry during the pandemic when we spent so much time on social media platforms?
All right, Omnia, based on your discussion and your point of view, I'll tell you, a quick story.
Okay.
Right? So, on the day I was created into this life and I was born, I was born with migraines.
I didn't want to go way back.
So this has nothing to do with the phones or the COVID-19 pandemic. I've been suffering from migraines ever since I could open my eyes, and I don't know.
You don't,
I suffer from migraines in general, and I don't believe that my excess use of electronics added or removed it.
Now,
There's some goldfish crackers here, Omnia.
I think these are from
Who's
Rania.
eating goldfish crackers?
I think Rania Sadi from Morning Majlis. She loves bringing snacks to the show. Yeah. Rania, if you're watching this or tuning in, there you go. But going back to your point, I feel like even if you suffer from migraines, they may kind of make it a bit worse being on your phone.
Yeah. How many times? All right. Have you ever woken up with a migraine?
Yes, it's
All
the
right.
worst thing.
Do you know what I do when I wake up with a migraine?
Go back to sleep?
No.
What?
I go to the kitchen. I'll pop a migraine pill, an ibuprofen, 800 mg, right? And then I'll go and get the hottest shower ever and sit down and go like this.
Does it actually help?
It helps a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I sit down, I hottest shower in the world. Like my skin will be burning.
Man.
And I feel better after it.
I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah, but
migraines are the
has
worst.
anyone ever done that before?
No.
I sit in the shower when
I feel like I'd be too nauseous for me to even
I have a
think
migraine.
of going
I
to the
sit
shower.
in the shower and I close my eyes and I put my hands on my head.
And it helps.
And I just sit there for 10 to 20 minutes.
There
Right?
you go. You've got a secret recipe on how to treat if you wake up with one. But I feel like especially with social media platforms, I personally visited the ophthalmologist, which is like an eye doctor during the pandemic because of how
What?
it's called an ophthalmologist.
I thought it was like Dr. Ayun.
Yeah, it's an eye doctor.
I didn't know it was called ophthalmologist.
It's an ophthalmologist. But yeah, and he actually did say that, especially during the pandemic, a lot of people were visiting him and saying that they were suffering from dry eyes. Their eyes were very strained. Now, the company did say that they're making big changes on all the buttons on Twitter, launching new updates that they can make them a lot easier on our eyes. And also because, as Hani has mentioned, a lot of people have been complaining about the new look of Twitter. Many people have been saying that it's uncomfortable for people with sensory sensitivities. So they're planning to introduce a new font that's called Chirp, which does believe that it's going to make seeing the buttons on Twitter a lot easier, a lot more clear. They're also going to make it a lot more comfortable for us to be able to post. And a lot of people have actually been complaining. One user has actually posted begging, please, please, please let us change the font back. One of the users was complaining that it's incredibly difficult for them to read with it and it physically hurts to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're used to something for such a long period of time and then to switch up, it's not going to make you more comfortable.
True.
Because I don't believe anyone was complaining about Twitter in specific. Maybe they're complaining about screens in general.
True.
I don't think that was the deal. But again, I mean, we look at Twitter in general trying to cater more and be more attractive to its users, because I have a theory that Twitter is in hot water, and they have a fear that Twitter is going to be eliminated from the top social media platforms, which I personally believe Twitter will stay for a very long time. Let us know your guys' thoughts. 4215, do a slot, or on Instagram at Pulse95 Radio.
Coming up on the show, we're talking all about robotic chameleons. So make sure you stay tuned right here on Pulse 95.
Check this out. Check this out. Pulse 95.
A couple of scientists have actually designed something, right?
Mm-hmm. It sounds so serious when it's weird tech.
It is weird. And they have designed something that crawls and changes color.
Sounds creepy.
And, it kind of, gives me a little bit goosebumps. Or, in America.
Trip down memory lane?
Yeah, in America, they used to call it the heebie-jeebies. Do you know what the heebie-jeebies are?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, it's when you get goosebumps and the hairs on your neck, they pop up, right? And, these scientists have designed a robotic chameleon, believe it or not. Now, when I hear the word chameleon, two things come in mind, right? One, the rapper Chameleonaire. And number two, if you guys remember, riding dirty, won't catch me riding dirty. I get the whole round, they hating, patrolling. That's the Chameleonaire.
Yeah.
It's an old song. I wonder what happened to that guy. But
we still hear, yeah.
I don't know. He doesn't make music anymore. But the second thing it reminds me of when I used to be Steve Irwin of Miami, Florida. You know, I was obsessed with the guy. By the way,
Really?
When I was a child, I was obsessed. I had birthdays themed of the crocodile hunter.
No way.
I love animals, and I used to run after lizards. And me and my cousin,
You were
shout out
that
to my
type of
cousin
child?
Ali, right? Me and my cousin Ali, we used to run all over the neighborhood looking for lizards and snakes, and we'd catch them.
I don't even like talking about this.
And our parents used to scream at us because we'd bring in snails and snakes and lizards. And
You were a Discovery child. Like, you loved
the Discovery.
discovering.
It was the Discovery Channel,
Yep.
And
They should have hired you.
they would have made a lot of money because I was a crazy kid back in the day. That's why my legs have scars on them, Omnia, because I used to climb up trees looking for these
Lizards?
chameleons.
Oh my God.
Right? And, obviously I would fall from these trees or the sticks would hit my legs and I got scars from them.
Should have
But-
gotten you one of those robotic chameleons. then.
Exactly. But now, my childhood memories have been reignited because a team of Korean researchers were so fascinated by chameleons. I don't blame them. And they made a robotic one with googly eyes, a Watto-style gait, and most importantly, something that, makes the chameleon so amazing.
Yep.
A skin that changes color on demand.
Now, that's basically kind of what makes chameleons and lizards stand out. They walk around and they change the color to match that of their surrounding. That's what we call camouflage. But to have robots do that on demand, that's going to be a very interesting skill for a robot to have. It's kind of like a full working chameleon. A chameleon that can help us in our day-to-day activities. Now, the artificial electronic skin that these researchers created can adjust its color, the hue of the color, instantly and automatically. So it'll match the background that the robot is crawling over. This invention is one of the first devices out there. It's one of the first robots that is capable of changing colors and patterns based on its environment. And it's actually going to help different researchers create active camouflage wear for military applications, or even help designers create their own sense of fashion. That's
Or
completely
even
different.
art.
True. Art will definitely be inspired by this. In addition to the different colors that this robot can actually display on its surface, the skin does not actually exactly mirror the nearby background. So with a real-life chameleon, there is a difference in shade. If you look very closely at the chameleon, the shade on its skin is a little bit different than that in the background. And researchers were actually even able to copy this capability. So they can give you different hues, different shades that you can pick out from and use. To create this robot, it wasn't easy because researchers had to make the skin using a very thin layer and a glaze of liquid crystal ink.
Glazed donuts.
I swear, I knew you were going to mention that.
I love glazed donuts.
You love donuts in general. But this skin can take on any color. So whatever color they go ahead and inject it into that robot, it'll be able to display. It can even reflect certain colors of light, which I think is actually very cool and nice to have in events, for example. This is also going to help it change its color based on the temperature. So you may even have robots that are very temperature sensitive, and that might help robots adjust.
It is hot.
Or is it
You
hot?
need to go to the room because, honey, it is hot. Imagine you had a talking, walking chameleon that changes color, feels the heat.
In the UAE, it'll always be red.
Yeah, and again, there's actually something about the kind of liquid crystals that actually change their orientation and their color based on that temperature. So, it's kind of, complicated in a way, and I'm very,
Nature makes it look so easy, though.
yeah, and
You look at a chameleon and you think, wow.
Yeah, subhanAllah. I mean, these Korean researchers are trying to, master that. And, I'm very impressed by these Korean researchers or scientists per se because, it's not an easy thing to do. Now, I'm looking at one of the pictures. This looks like a cucumber, right? Cucumber and crab salad.
True.
Right?
Oh, yeah, I see the cucumber.
And crab salad.
Oh, yes. The green with the orange.
Now I can never eat crab salad again because I'm going to be thinking about chameleons.
You love chameleons, though.
Yeah, I don't want to eat them.
Yeah, you're not going to eat them.
Yeah.
Just don't eat the cucumber in the middle.
All right, hopefully I don't have any crab salad with cucumbers. But again, there's a couple of limitations when it does come to the thermal control of said liquid. And a chemist at the University of Nebraska said skin is easier to heat than to cool down. So it may not switch from a hot color to like a blue cold color as fast as it would switch from blue to red, for example. And again, I mean, this is still in the works, but I'm very impressed by, a chameleon robot.
Let us know. Are you just as impressed as we are? We always bring you the weirdest tech right here on Future Talk. Coming up in just a few moments, we're talking about Twitter and how they have actually paused the free blue checks that they were giving. Anyone who has been excited about getting their account verified, the program has been paused yet again, and we're going to be telling you exactly why that happened. So make sure you keep Pulse 95 locked, and we'll be right back.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
Have you been wanting that blue check on Twitter? And are you one of the people who applied to be a part of the verification program that they rolled out just a few weeks ago? Because if you did, we've got some pretty sad news for everyone. They have paused their verification program because sadly they have given it to fake accounts. They've given blue checks to fake accounts, and now they're trying to fix the mistake that they've committed.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty weird because, when Twitter actually has stopped their verification progress for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And then they came back and they said, hey, we got it all under control, because before they were going through some problems. And they said, hey, we got it all under control. No more AI, no more robots. A human will be reviewing these accounts before giving them said verified badge. I have to laugh because
You have the laugh.
because Twitter again has made the mistake and has been giving verified badges to fake accounts. So that does mean one thing and one thing only: humans are not reviewing these accounts.
Nope.
And Twitter has been exposed. So they said, hey, we have temporarily hit pause on rolling out access to apply for verification so we can make improvements to the application and review process. For those who have been waiting, we know this may be disappointing. Maybe disappointing.
Very disappointing.
It is disappointing. Now, they also did add that they want to get things right and appreciate our patience. Very funny. And it is
Your
very...
reactions are...
Because it's very important, right, to have a proper verified account, because
True.
we do know that a lot of people,
It's a responsibility.
Yeah, because a lot of people, when they see a verified badge on any type of Twitter account, something of superiority is given to that person. A lot of people say, hey, it's a verified account. We should trust them, believe them. If they say apples are oranges, then apples are oranges.
True. Now, if you have applied for that verification, that blue badge, don't worry, because the program is just paused for a few weeks, and within the next few weeks, we are expecting Twitter to go ahead and resume giving those blue badges. Let us know if you are one of those people.
If you liked this episode of Future Talk, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.